This is my review on all three Blade movies with Wesley Snipes. I give the sequels Blade 2 and Blade 3. The third one's called Blade Trinity. Trinity. A 8 out of 10. I'm not sure which was a better movie or which was a worse movie, Blade 2 or Blade 3. Which was more anticlimactic, I don't know. I don't know why they made a sequel to Blade. The first Blade was good enough, it didn't need a sequel, I thought. But they made a sequel anyway. For some reason. And Wesley Snipes signed on for both of them. Blade 2 is a straight up cheese fest comedy romp of a horror genre romp. It's a comedy romp of a horror genre movie made by the guy who made that mediocre Hellboy movies with Ron Perlman with those scripts, but they were fun to watch nonetheless. This is the same person that made this Hellboy movies made Blade 2. Blade 2 is more of a straight up comedy compared to any of this has the most comedy than any of the Blade movies, and it's most cringe and obnoxious and loudest and dumb out of all of them. Next to Blade Trinity. I didn't cringe as much, surprisingly, in Blade Trinity, but I cringed a lot more in Blade 2 than I did in Blade Trinity throughout the 3-act structure of the movie. For both movies, sequels, comparison for the Blade franchise. These script sequels were mediocre, and for some reason, Blade 2 had the dumb idea to bring a dead character back that died already in the first movie called Whistler and bring him back for no explained reason. And how did Blade figure how did he be back? It doesn't make sense. I don't know. This is stupid. And then Blade 3 kills him off again in the first few minutes. About the halfway point of the movie, he dies. Before you're a few minutes at the halfway point of the movie. Is when Whistler dies again in the third installment. And then he doesn't come back. Again. This... and this time in this one he faces Dracula, and Dracula doesn't look much like Dracula, as he looks more like an underwear model. As in, he made him look handsome. and he doesn't look intimidating. He doesn't look what you expect a Dracula to look like. And when he cannot pull off, and he's this terrible. This is a terrible looking Dracula. Even his fashion sense is terrible. He's so not scary. I mean, how do we went through the first two vampires and the first two bosses of the first two Blade movies that could pull off intimidating? Then we get Dracula, the mother of all vampires, and you made him handsome. Why? This was great. This could be great to reinvent the character. This man of the handsome Dracula. Great. That's not what the Blade films are known for. The Blade films are known for, really delivering the edge of the grotesque. And when it comes to being with the vampire ideas and designs. Really, really haunting designs that normally they are. But Dracula, but Dracula and all the other vampires in Blade 3, they're not scary at all. They look like normal, handsome people just with fangs. That's a problem. They didn't get creative with the vampires this time. I think why most people think that the worst Blade movie is probably this one. But I'm not most people, and I'm going to side against that and say the worst one is Blade 2. It's the appetizer, and Blade 3 is the dessert. After the appetizer. Basically. One's less painful than the other to watch for cringe. If you're trying to cringe less, watching a movie and reduce your stress and escape the world from around you. That sucks. Probably. If you're like me. You would watch movies for escapism, and especially comic book movies. And when they don't deliver everything I want, I have to give them an 8 out of 10. That's why I get the first two Blade sequels with Wesley Snipes, the last two Blade sequels, with Wesley Snipes, say 8 out of 10. And I reviewed Blade 2 and Blade Trinity. And I gave it a 8 out of 10 both movies. My final thoughts on them. Verdict. Score. On them both. For the sequel and the third installment to Blade, with Leslie Snipes' Blade, get a solid 8 out of 10. And that's my review on the Blaze sequels. Goodbye. Before I go, I want you to subscribe and hit the bell in that order. To get subscribed and hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Goodbye now.